Project Hunter. Some people are walking in the front of a cave as someone runs up to meet a certain looking person. Dust, ma'am. It's good to see you could come to this site. This is one of Dr. Robotnik's old labs, isn't it? Yes, ma'am, it is. We've been, going through it. It seems it was used, a while back, even more recent than we thought. Wait, used? There were some few working batniks we had to deal with. We didn't take any losses, but we did have to clear them out. Alright, what about the supplies? We're here to gather all the supplies that the Eggman army has from this old base. We can sell this stuff for a pretty good price around the market. We're working on that. But there's still so many entrances and exits to this laboratory of his. We are still having no idea what this base was used for. It's obviously a cave base, as you can tell, ma'am. What about the security? We have men constantly surveilling the area, in case Dr. Robotnik decides to come back to this base while we're using the parts, getting the parts, you know. As Dust starts to walk around, as they're walking around the cave area, as they're moving forward, further into the cave, then suddenly the ground starts to shake. What's happening? Apparently there's an earthquake, as the floor underneath Dusk and a few soldiers give out, as she falls and tumbles down the hole, as well as a few guards, as the person that met her, Rex, did not get down there, as he's still up there. Ma'am, are you alright? As he's shining a light down the hole. Yeah, we're fine, as they can't see her because how far she went down. As she grabs a light and checks on, the soldiers. You alright? As one seems to have a broken arm. As another one is currently bandaging to him. As the other two that are currently get up and ready, they are coming to check on Dusk. You alright, ma'am? I'm fine. As then, she shines the light around and sees that there are wires. Why are there wires down here? I don't know. The cave suddenly collapsed, which is odd. I'm not sure what the reason was. Well, anyway, let's follow these wires. They have to lead to somewhere important. Lead the way, ma'am. As the two guards have their guns, as they're following her. As the other guard stays behind to wait for the, backup to come and get them out of there. And he wanted to stay with the injured soldier as well, to make sure he gets the proper medical attention he needs. As Dusk is shining a light, as they're walking into the cave, as she's following the wire. Why are we following this wire, ma'am? Shouldn't we stay until backup arrives? It'll probably take them 10-20 minutes, maybe an hour, give or take, to get a cable or wires down here to lift us out. Well, they should be down here in a little bit. It should take at least 20 minutes. After all, that earthquake was sudden. But seemingly we fell down into some sort of lab or abandoned something. As she shines it, she finally gets to the end of the cord she sees it's connected to a generator. A generator? All the way down here? As she says, you start it up. As the soldier goes over there and starts starting it up, as it just starts right up, as the lights that were set up around turn on, as she gets a good look around the room, and then sees the cube. What is that? As she approaches the cube, what is this? What was Dr. Eggman researching here? This is nothing like I've ever seen before. As the cube's all staticky. As she looks at it, as one of the guards notices, hey, there's a closed laptop over here, ma'am. As she goes over, open it up. Sure thing. As the guard opens it up, this isn't Eggman's logo. Let me have a look at that. As she looks at it, no, that isn't Eggman's. Someone else doing research here? As she starts to open up the computer, password. Any of you have any ideas? I don't know. Try Eggman something? Let's try Eggman ruler number 125. And it actually worked for some reason. Well, that was easy. Thank you, guard, for the information or the suggestion of that password. As she starts to look at it, Project Hunter? As she sees a file named that, as she moves the mouse to click on it, as then a few pages pull up. Project Hunter. Alright, let's read through this. As she's about to start reading through it, as one of the the security guards go to check the generator. Ma'am, this thing doesn't have much power left. As she leans her head over. What do you mean? Looks like this generator's been drained or it's old. Looks like most of the fuel was used for it a while back. You got 10 minutes most likely on that computer before everything shuts off down here. Thanks for the heads up. Now let me read this. As you wish, ma'am. We should go look around, see if we find anything else. As the two guards wander around. Alright, what is this? Project Hunter. Page 1. I can't believe Dr. Eggman would throw me aside. It doesn't matter. I'll show him the error of his ways, and he will rule by my side. But before I was locked out, I got a lot of data about Sonic, Tails, and Shadow. I plan to use this data to make my own loyal subordinates. Luckily, I had some volunteers for Project Hunter. Project Hunter is is trying to make a better version of Shadow, the Hedgehog. From what I had gathered, he was made by Dr. Eggman's grandpa, Gerald Robotnik, to be the ultimate life form. What I know little to nothing on how he was made, but with his biodata from Dr. Robotnik, I can't remake the ultimate life form. But I believe I can remake his powers. My volunteers, 2 wolves, 1 male and female. They were in a tough spot, so I offered a deal, which they agreed on. And what makes it better is that they were siblings. The male, also known as Moon, will be in Project Hunter, although his sister kept asking me if project will be safe. I made up my mind I would have his sister on another project. But back to Project Hunter. When he is complete, he'll go by a new name, Shadow Wolf. I'm using this old Eggman cave base to run my project. I'm using this cube to put Shadow's biodata in. After it was done, I sent in my test subject. He was hesitant at first, but with some motivation, he walked into the cube. 2 days later, everything seemed to be going well, but Moon has been unresponsive. It may be the process of getting powers, or the worst case scenario, the powers were too much and his vitals flatlined. But that does not seem to be the case. His vitals are normal. Day 3, still no response from him. This may take more time than I thought. I'll move on to my other projects while I wait. 2 months later, still no response. He should have woken up by now. Why is he still asleep? It seems copying Shadow's powers is harder than I thought. There is no telling when he'll wake up, but it seems the cube is keeping him alive, somehow. It seems Project Hunter was a failure. Too bad. He would have made a good pawn for my plan. Hopefully his sister will be of more use. Although I probably should have checked if there were any side effects about this cube. The file did say research on the cube was unfinished, so maybe that's why this failed. Oh well, just a small setback. If he ever woke up, I would be told right away, but I don't think that will be the case. I hope that Dr. Eggman doesn't mind me using some things from his database in this project. Whatever, I doubt he will notice. Now time to have my own Sonic. As she finished reading through that, Project Hunter to remake Shadow the Hedgehog. This has so many questions. Should I tell the Resistance or should I tell the Restoration about this? They could use this data for something else, and I don't think Shadow would like to know he's a copy. But if I remember, he said wolf. 2 wolves. And first off, what is this logo? I've never seen it before. There's so many things to consider right now. As then suddenly there's more lights coming down from the cave. Oh, that must be them. They must have gotten down here. As the person comes running, Dusk, it seems you're okay. As he walks into the room with the cube. What is that thing? I don't know. It gives me a brief description here, but nothing else. Let me check this notepad. As she picks up the notepad, the cube. It seems that Dr. Eggman was researching it. I've been doing my best to look into the cube's powers and whatever else it has to hold. But for some reason, Dr. Robotnik abandoned this project to unknown reasons. I thought it could be a good use to probably copy powers, so I reinvented it, programming it with a new set of, rules. It's supposed to give my volunteer the powers similar to Shadow, amongst other things. But it seems this test was a failure, so I've left this to its own devices. I'll be alerted if it's ever woken up. As she closes the notepad, still no name. I've got no idea who did this. I managed to get lucky with the password, as the guards are currently surveilling the room. As then that same guard come over, ma'am, the power's about to, as then suddenly the lights start flickering. As the guards point their guns around, what's going on? As suddenly the cube starts to open, as all the guards immediately put their guns towards the cube. As then suddenly everything goes blank, the lights just go out. Next thing you heard is fighting. As the lights come on, several guards are down, as the rest are pointing their guns around the room. As Dusk's in the middle. What happened? As she looks over and sees several of the down guards. As the lights turn off again, but gunfire is heard this time. As then we hear someone screaming, "Ah!" as he's dragged off into the darkness. Two guards open fire in that direction. As then suddenly a body comes flying at one of the guards, causing him to get sent to the ground. As Dusk grabs a knife out from her shoe and pulls it up, just blocking some claws from hitting her. As she squints down and manages to see, yellow eyes? As before she gets shoved back by the mysterious person. As Rex starts firing his gun at, Project Hunter. As he would simply just, disappear into the darkness as the lights were all off. As Rex and Dusk have their backs to each other. Who is this? I think that's Project Hunter. Project what? Project Hunter. It was a project on whoever was doing this. There was no name, but this cube was obviously made by Dr. Robotnik, so I'm guessing it has something to do with him. As Project Hunter was listening in. Dr. Eggman. As then he grabs his head. As then words come into head. Take out those hedgehogs. As he shakes his head before rushing towards Rex, as Dusk would quickly turn around and kick, Project Hunter in the face. As he went flying, he grabbed Rex, dragging him off into the dark. As then finds her, his hits being hit on. As then suddenly, Rex comes flying by Dusk, hitting a wall and some rubble falls on. Rex, you alright? As she wants to go over, as then she feels like something's about to hit her from behind. She quickly turns around and pulls out her knife once again to block the attack. But this time, the knife breaks from contact with Project Hunter's claws, causing a claw wave to just send her towards the wall. As she gets up, as she has a little bit of a, mark on her chest from the claws, and she opens her eye, and she gets a full view of Project Hunter. I'm guessing you're... As she's about to say his actual name, as she starts to say it, no. As then she gets socked in the face by Hunter, sending her to a wall, as she's unconscious. As he would walk towards her. Who in the world are you? As she resembles a hedgehog. As he raises his claws to seemingly finish the job. As then his head starts to hurt. Get those hedgehogs. As he would run off towards the direction where the floor collapsed. As some of the guards were regaining their footing, as they went over and checked on Rex and Dusk. You alright, ma'am? As Dusk seems to be out of it. As Rex is, out of the rubble. Who was that? I don't know, but Dusk is out of it. What should we do, sir? Dusk was in charge, but now you are. We gotta stop him. Give me a walkie-talkie. As they hand him a walkie-talkie. Repeat, front team. Entrance team, do you copy? This is entrance team. What do you need, sir? We have an imposter intruder heading towards the main entrance. Do not let him pass. I'll get all the guards to it. How's everyone? No one dead, sir, but as he looks around, everyone's wounded. Get a medic down here. We're gonna need several. As there was about a total of 20 of them down there. As Project Hunter had seemingly just took them all out in a short span of time. As we go to the team up top, as several guards are waiting at the entrance. Why are we here? We have an intruder heading this way. Our orders are to stop him at all cost. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Crystal clear. Good. As someone starts to hear footprints. I think he's coming. As they all raise their guns towards the entrance. Don't shoot until you see the subject. If he's not wearing our armor or isn't Dusk or Rex, open fire. As all the security guards respond with a yes. As they're looking down their gun sights, as then suddenly 3 large claw waves come forth, hitting the middle of the group, sending them flying out of the cave. As then the other ones that were hit by the claws start opening fire into the darkness. As machine gun fire is heard down the hall, as then one of them raises, stop. As then 4 of them start to move forward. Did we get him? I don't know. Let's move in. As the 4 start to move in. As one steps into the darkness, he then gets grabbed before he's pulled into the darkness. The other 3 guards immediately start firing in the direction. As then suddenly, one of them was shot in the shoulder before another one was hit with the other guard's gun, causing him to fall over. As darkness had thrown the other guy at the 3rd guy, going him to the ground. As then he jumped on the one that he hit with the gun before socking him in the face, knocking him out. As the one he shot pulls out his pistol and starts firing at him. But for some reason, the bullets seemingly go off his fur. What? As then he gets socked, being his face indebted into the wall. As the other guy's trying to get the air security guard off of him, before he just gets hit in the head by Project Hunter, as he's unconscious. Get the hedgehogs. As he walks out, as there be a jeep with a gun, as it starts opening fire at the entrance where Project Hunter is walking out, as he simply just seemingly runs fast before he gets to the machine gunner. As he's lifting the guy up. Hey, what are you doing? As he's about to punch him, the vehicle then starts moving before coming to a stop, sending Project Hunter and the guy he was holding off the car as he hits the wall. As the guy gets up as he's crawling away, as the car is seemingly about to ram into Project Hunter. As Project Hunter got up before he grabs the truck and then just kicks it, sending it flying towards the gate as it rolls, breaking the gate. As the guy that's on the ground immediately starts pulling out his pistol and starts firing at him. The bullets just going deflecting off his fur. What are you? As then he would just simply punch him in the face. As he starts walking out while he's holding the unconscious guard. Get rid of the hedgehogs. And that is the end of Project Hunter. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. This is part of the What If Greenkenobi Was in Sonic series. Make sure to like and subscribe.